critical thinking skills lead to independent learning because
Mhm.
they help you to want to know more and they help you to want to pursue more than your mom was able to spoon feed you. Because ultimately, we don't want to be spoon feeding our kids when they're 15 or 16.
Right.
You know, we want them to be out there angled toward that future career that they're going to have or the
Yeah.
future goals that they're going to have. So I would say simple rhythms, teaching them critical thinking skills and lots of repetition really help them to start to own what it is they're supposed to be doing next and do it well.
So what does a typical day look like for your family?
So, and you know what? This is going to change from year to year.
Sure.
But right now, we attend a homeschool co-op that's 1 day a week. So on a typical Monday, let's say, we do family Bible reading at 7:30 in the morning. My husband works from home, but he goes to his office at about 8:30. So 7:30 to 8:30 or somewhere thereabouts is breakfast and Bible reading that he leads. And we do scripture memory and Bible reading. The kids, it's very interactive. He asks lots of questions. He actually writes down like trivia from our actual specific Bible reading on
Mhm.
note cards. And then on Sunday nights, we have this buzzer game where we make our own Bible trivia and but he's reading it from the stuff that we've done during the week. So it's a way of
Yeah.
refreshing. He does a really good job of it.
Fun.
And so he goes to work. I actually go and teach a fitness class at 9:30 in the morning and I take the little biddies with me after I've gotten everybody going on morning chores and math. I was having a mom guilt moment the other day. I'm like, I am missing 2 hours of our main homeschool morning 3 days a week. Like I'm being a bad homeschool mom. And then I was home during one of those days when we didn't have classes. And I was like, it is a good thing that the 2-year-olds and the 3-year-olds are out of their hair. Like,
Yeah.
like this is a season right now that is really good for my children to be able to work once I get them set up. And then my mom on a Monday will come at about 11 o'clock.
Mhm.
I will come home about the time that she gets there, and we work side by side doing lunch and homeschooling with the younger to middle kids to about and putting babies down for naps and all of that till about 1:30 or so. My older kids are very independent at this point. They're older, and
Sure.
I didn't need help from my mom when I was 15. Like I said, I was already in college. I was absolutely in charge of my assignments. She had taught me time management. I would have thought it was strange if she was sitting beside me,
Yeah.
working with me. If she graded my paper, she helped me absolutely, but
Sure.
she wasn't holding my hand at that point. And I
Yeah.
think teaching independent learning and self motivation is like that's a skill. And then in the afternoons, we'll have quiet time and we do read alouds and my kids fold laundry. That's when we get all of our laundry folded. They actually ask if there's laundry to fold because they like read aloud so much.
Nice.
We work that in and then we'll do meal prep and hang out and dinner. And we're almost always doing dinner as a family, unless we've got sports going or something that requires our time in the evenings, but we kind of try to protect that space. So that's a typical homeschool day for us.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so here's the big question that maybe a lot of moms are asking. You said that you teach your kids and you were taught by your mom how to be self-motivated and learn independently. How do you teach that to your kids? And at what ages do you start teaching them to do that? Because you're saying older kids. So is older to you like 12 and up are pretty
Yeah.
independent?
Yeah.
Or so how do you teach that to them?
So I think that lots of simple repetition is really key. You cannot be bouncing around all over the place and have a kid learn a structure and a system and a
Mhm.
time management. And things need to happen. I'm not really strict about schedules, but things need to happen at approximately the same time each day
Sure.
for them to not feel like they're always going, what am I supposed to be doing right now? So simple rhythms. We do breakfast and Bible reading. We do morning cleanup. They start on math. Like that's going to be, and they know this. So it starts to get ingrained in them to the point where they're not having to ask as many questions and wonder what their assignment is. Now, we also do very simple traditional homeschooling for the most part. So they're doing a math workbook and I'm explaining to the concept, getting them going, making sure they understand, and then they're practicing it. I'm not doing a lot of manipulatives or a
Right.
lot of complicated things like that. And I do think that that is something that does have to go by the wayside to some extent when you have as many kids to teach as I do.
Mhm.
We do a lot of roundtable. So we have a big island and I have 5 or 6 kids sitting all at the same island. I've heard this called the school bus method where you go and you
Oh,
start it and then you get them going and then you go to the next child and you answer questions across the table. And then we do as much family style learning as possible too.
mhm.
But in that process, you're teaching them how to think critically. So if we're doing read alouds, you're asking questions that require them to interact with the text that you're reading. You're not just giving them rote answers. Critical thinking skills lead to independent learning because
Mhm.
they help you to want to know more and they help you to want to pursue more than your mom was able to spoon feed you. Because ultimately, we don't want to be spoon feeding our kids when they're 15 or 16.
Right.
You know, we want them to be out there angled toward that future career that they're going to have, or the future goals that they're going to have. So I would say simple rhythms, teaching them critical thinking skills and lots of repetition really help them to start to own what it is they're supposed to be doing next and do it well.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.